we talk about things like pricing in your virtual studio, marketing, how to get more clients, things like that. And I have a killer tip in there for how you can get more clients. So I hope you go to the show notes and give that a listen. Hi, Sunshine Moore here, creator of Fit Tech. We are the hub for virtual fitness instructors to learn technology and equipment solutions, plus sales and marketing strategies to successfully launch your online businesses. From our mini courses to our signature course, we bring education to you around the world. And when we do that, you go out and serve the world. And that is a mission that we can get behind. We'll meet you where you are ready. Maybe it's a mini course, confidence on camera. Maybe it's a 7-day challenge, how to set up your virtual studio. Or maybe you're ready for the signature course, how to successfully launch your online business, which includes not only all of the tech aspects, but sales and marketing strategies. We aim to build our know, like, and trust factor with you with this podcast. And also in each podcast, there are resources in the notes and ways to connect with us further. Please check the notes, reach out. We are here for you, Fit Pro. Hey, Fit Pro, Sunshine here. This is the first podcast I'm recording in my apartment in Boston. There were a few things I had to figure out here, like sound considerations for sure. Can't have my daughter home. I'm leaving in about 15 minutes to go get her. And then another consideration is set up with the mic and where I position the mic. And it's okay. It's an experiment. Today, I'm going to do a short podcast recording from me. And then if you want to keep listening, I recorded the fitness business podcast that I did with Dori. The sound quality is just okay, but what I did is put the link to it in the show notes. It's a much higher quality version of that podcast. I was a guest. So if you want to keep listening, I do have the recording here on this podcast. It's not the highest caliber, just because I'm out of town and don't have the highest equipment, but I want you to know that there is so much value in the podcast that I recorded with Dori. And we talk about things like pricing in your virtual studio, marketing, how to get more clients, things like that. And I have a killer tip in there for how you can get more clients. So I hope you go to the show notes and give that a listen. Yes, smart guy, marketing guy. And I think he did 10 things that he believes are true about us, meaning entrepreneurs. So I made some for us, do's and don'ts. So things I believe are true about you, Fit Pro. You do the following things. You do care about your people. You do know how to teach well. You do know how to be resourceful with resources. You do post on social media regularly. You do want to know what microphone, camera, platform, booking platform you can use, and you want all of these to be free. You do have confidence in person when teaching. You do teach multiple times a week. And finally, you do want more clients. You wouldn't want to know about the mic or camera unless you wanted more clients, right? You want to treat them well. Here are things that you don't want. You don't want to charge more. Or I should say, you don't charge enough. You'd like to charge more, but you're afraid. You don't want to learn how to use a mixer. It's intimidating. You don't want to niche down your market because you're afraid you won't have enough people to draw from. You don't invest a lot of money into equipment. You don't want to pay for social media ads. It feels icky. You don't know how to do it. You don't want to do it. You feel almost like a sellout with ads. And you don't always have confidence on camera. Let me know how spot on I am with the do's and the don'ts. These are usually conscious. I'm starting to make a list of unconscious ones. And the biggest unconscious one that I believe to be true about you, Fit Pro, is that you don't understand the overall experience, say the quality of sound, for example, is a huge part of what draws clients to you and retains them. So while putting a speaker right next to your laptop seems like it's going to get the job done, and technically it will, that is not the highest caliber of delivery with fitness. And it's so competitive these days. Everybody can be online now. And so I want to push you and urge you that it's okay to find out what is still the minimum that you can do, minimum time and investment and knowledge that you can invest into figuring out how to increase the overall experience that you deliver to clients, because that is how you're going to get more clients. That is how you're going to retain more clients, when you improve the overall experience. And I will tell you that sound is a huge part of that. I would love to help you. All you have to do is DM me on FitTech University on Instagram, and I will help you. I'll send you a link to my calendar. You'll book a time. We'll meet on Zoom, and I'll help you. I'll help you with where you're at in your business and what you would like to invest. All right, that's it. Up next is the episode with Dori of the Fitness Business Podcast. Again, you can keep listening here, or if the quality isn't high enough, which for me it's not, just click the link to it in the show notes. And then grab your free resource in the show notes for your high impact marketing plan. It's 4 steps of what you can do today for your marketing that will start to draw that niche market, that will attract the right person to your virtual fitness studio. I adore you. I mean it. Have an amazing day.
You handled the pandemic like a rock star, and you got your virtual studio up and running quickly. Now, fast forward 2 years. Is it still profitable? And what changes have you made to your marketing strategy to support retention? Today on the Fitness Business Podcast, our guest grabs these questions by the horn and shares her knowledge about virtual studios and marketing them to move forward into the future. Thank you for joining me today. I am your weekly host, Dori Nugent, and today our guest, Sunshine Kelly Moore, is here to give you updated guidance and hopefully a little renewed energy about your virtual studio. She has a wealth of knowledge. Plus, she has the credentials to back it up. Sunshine is the founder and CEO of FitTech, which is a hub for virtual fitness instructors to learn technology and equipment solutions, as well as sales and marketing strategies. Sunshine, I'd love for you to give your top 3 tips to launching a virtual studio.
Number 1, download the 3 questions that you need to answer before you set up your virtual studio, and then give me your answers on Instagram at FitTech University. I will give you my feedback. Number 2, listen to the Fitness Business Podcast. There are so many experts on here. And then number 3, tell me all the reasons you are not going to take action. And then tell me, what are you going to do about those reasons?
Let's transition into this week's interview. Sunshine Moore is our industry expert today. Sunshine, thank you so much for coming on to the Fitness Business Podcast.
Thank you, Dori, for having me. I am so honored to be here.
Yeah, so you're going to talk to our audience today about creating your virtual fitness studio. We have some really good questions here that I think our FBP family is going to love. I can't wait to hear what your answers are going to be. You're the founder and CEO of FitTech. So tell us a little bit about FitTech.
Sure. FitTech is the hub for virtual fitness instructors to learn about tech and equipment, but not only that, also sales and marketing to successfully launch their virtual fitness studios. It was born out of a need, COVID, right? I had a brick and mortar studio, and I happened to post something, I think it was in the Bar Above community, don't quote me on that, a video about mirroring in the camera. And I received so many questions in my messenger about it. Then I posted another one just to be helpful, quite honestly, because I have a background as an operations manager for a sound production company. So I know a little bit too much about XLR cables and mixers and mics, and I knew I could be helpful. I ran into a crossroads of whether to keep my brick and mortar studio open. It was a hybrid, and or pivot into education with technology for fitness instructors. And I ultimately opted to pivot to education with fitness and technology to help fitness instructors. Honestly, because I know I can, and that's where I was feeling called to help. So we closed our brick and mortar studio, and we've put all of our resources into building the back end of a business, which is a lot. And then taking all my teaching skills as a marketing professor to really help fitness instructors start their virtual studio and then successfully launch it long term. And in order to do that, they need the setup, they need the tech. And then the goal for me is that once I have earned your trust with teaching you the tech, maybe I can bend your ear about a marketing strategy, because that is how you are successful long term.
Well, my goodness, you're just a lot of things inside the box. So we're going to open the box today in our episode.
Yes.
And I'm going to try to pick your brain for every little piece of information that you have in there, because listen, launching a virtual fitness studio involves tech. It involves marketing, sales, the delivery, and then perhaps maybe the on-demand component. Would you not agree?
I absolutely agree.
All right. Well, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
And it can be overwhelming to the point that people get stuck and they don't take action.
I can see that for sure. For sure. All right. Well, let's get to our first question, Sunshine.
Fire away.
Okay, I'm going to fire away a lot today, so get ready. All right. How do we determine if we have a viable market for a virtual studio?
I like this question, and because I knew that you were going to ask this, I am going to start by saying you need a marketing strategy. And you might have tipped your head and said that doesn't answer the question, but it does. A marketing strategy will help us determine who we serve, how we serve them, and what problem we solve for them, right? I can't answer necessarily if there's a viable market until you answer those questions. I want you to think about when somebody is accused of a crime, we ask if they have the means and the motive, right? Do they have the means? Are you a fitness instructor? Do you have the internet? You probably said yes. What is your motive? What is your why is really what I'm saying. What is your why for doing this? You just answered yes to both of those. So really, yes, you do have a viable market because you have the means and the motive. I know we'll get more into depth and really draw out, but to answer it, you have the means, you have the motive, you can do it.
All right. Now I'm going to put two questions together. All right. And that is, what return on investment can we expect and over what period?
Okay. I'm going to start again with marketing strategy, but I'm going to take you through it. I teach my students a positioning map. I want you to think about a box, a 2x2, 2 columns, 2 rows, right? And at the top of it, I want you to put quality. And on the right side, I want you to put price. Now you have 4 boxes, right, Dori? Mm-hmm. You have to decide first what box you fit in. So if I said Planet Fitness, that would be on the low quality side, and the low price side. We'd be in the bottom left box. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Perfect. So you are already determined. Let's say we're going to be a Planet Fitness, $10 a month per client, right? That's a point that you can start at. We're in this lower box. Let's jump out of that now and ask ourselves, what is our goal? Let's say you're a stay-at-home mom and you want to make $100 a month. Is that before or after expenses? Once you've determined that, how many clients will you need to get there? If you are trying to make $100, but you have $200 in expenses, you start to do the math, right? And anybody can do that kind of simple math. You just have to put it on paper. To take that even farther, part of your expenses are your marketing. And when you're in virtual fitness, I would say up to 80% of your budget needs to go into your marketing, which is a scary figure. I actually heard it from Emily Hirsch again today of Hirsch Marketing. Almost 80% of your budget into marketing to get lead generation. That leads into, well, what is your budget? You'll determine your budget, and I know I'm doing hand gestures and nobody can see me. You determine your budget in your marketing strategy. It's just one component. I think a lot of times we get stuck in the weeds of, well, is $50 for 4 classes a good price? I have no idea. Show me your positioning map. Tell me who you serve, how you serve them, and what are the results that you're going to get them. Then we can have a conversation if $50 for 4 classes is a good price. We're also in the long game. You asked return on investment. Can I answer that? Really, no, I can't. Because again, I have to see your marketing strategy or help you with it. It could be 6 months. It could be 12 months. It depends on what your goal is. Let's go back to your first question. You said, "What do you have a viable market? Have we determined your means and your motive?" Right? This all connects. So these are great questions, and we piece all of these together for our marketing strategy to build our business.
One thing that I like about you is the way you break things down. And I know I read this about you that you said, I wrote this note, she likes to break down the info into bite-sized, digestible pieces. And I feel like that's what you're doing. You're kind of just breaking it down little by little, kind of going back, reiterating what you're saying. I really like that.
Thank you. I think it's the teacher in me.
All right. So let's talk about tech, right? You know,
let's talk about tech.
You love talking tech.
Yes.
I mean, basically, I think everybody knows what tech we need to launch our virtual studios, but what a little inside information do you have about the tech, or maybe some tips on the tech?
Sure. We all know we need a place to host our virtual studio, whether it's Arquetta or wherever. We all know we need some sort of way to film, right? We all know that we need music. We all know that we need lighting. What we don't all understand and accept is that we need a mixer. We need a mixer for our microphone and our music, mixing the sound. Because if we want to compete, it's no longer going to be acceptable to most people to turn on your iPhone without a microphone. If you're the instructor right now saying, my voice is loud enough, I want to challenge you on that. Because while it may be loud enough, is it pleasing enough to the people that you are speaking to? And I would bet you it's not. So if I could get you to get a mixer, you can get it for $100 on any website, AV Now or Amazon. Please go get a mixer for your microphone and your music to mix.
Oh my goodness. AV Now, you just got me so nostalgic of my days being a group fitness director for the zillion years that I was a group extra.
No kidding.
Yeah, they were my go-to source. I think I knew on the other end of the phone, like my first name, I'd be like, all right, because I was so, like, when I was a group fitness director, it was so important. Sound and mics. I don't know. I was obsessive over that. So I was literally on with AV Now, I think once a month ordering stuff. So awesome.
Oh, definitely.
So your answer is perfect for what I wanted to ask you next. And that is, again, like I said to you, we know the basic tech stuff that we need, right? And it's kind of the same thing. Like everybody just kind of, when COVID hit, they set their studios up, they scrambled. They did it in their garage. They cleaned their garage up. They were in their basement. They were maybe in an office space or a rec room, whatever it may be. Knowing that we're 2 years into this, what would you recommend? Like, how do you update the studio? Like, how do you take the studio to the next level? Do you brand it? Do you change the scenery? Do you change the decorations? Any advice on that?
Yes. The next step, and this speaks to a question that I think you're going to ask me, but I'm just going to answer it now because it fits. I believe, and this is only my opinion, that the next step is more collaboration with other independent virtual fitness instructors. Bring more value. There is so much competition. It's either going to stop you from starting or get you to leave the industry, right? But I'm hoping that someone who's investing in education and listening to this podcast is the person that's going to go out and find her 4 best gal friends that teach something different than she does and come together as a group. Think of it like a pop sugar fitness model, right? Where we have different formats, different instructors, and you find who you vibe with. Find 4 or 5 girlfriends and come together where one teaches bar, one teaches pumped up strength, one teaches TRX, one teaches cycle, one teaches yoga. And that will offer you something unique. And it's not only that you're offering other formats, but there are 5 coaches now that the participants are getting access to basically for the price of one, right? And while you could go on a Beachbody for $99 a year, you do not have access to those coaches. You do have access to the workouts. Pick whatever you want. But it's the coaches and the relationships that you build with the clients that will make the difference. And now you have 5 of you. Someone could be in the Facebook group each day. That's 5 days a week. You get a live coach to chat with you. Game changer.
That is a game changer. I have not heard anybody that has been on the episode, on the Fitness Business Podcast episode, talk about collaborating in that way. Genius.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love that. Like, yeah, so like tag team or have a guest instructor and then, it also shares your market too, which is a good thing. Genius. Sandy's going to have good stuff today.
Well, thank you. Well, each guest that comes on my podcast, if they have a virtual studio, I ask them to give me a Vimeo link to one of their workouts, and I let them know people are going to discover you in our fitness lab. We call it a fitness lab. And then I am building to that, right? Have one where, hey, you're going to have access to, maybe it's Linda McDonald or Fiona Judd or whoever. And then we're going to have our own pop sugar fitness model, but it'll be Fit Tech, of course.
Cute. I like that. Now, you might have tapped into this already, but I'm going to ask you anyhow. So I hope it's not too redundant. But how do we price our virtual studio membership? We get asked this all the time.
Sure.
Love to hear what you have to say.
Sure. And I did a whole episode on this that started with, let's do a marketing strategy, right? Price is one of the 4 P's in a marketing strategy. Go into Google. If you're driving right now, maybe we could put this in the show notes. You'll see that the 4 P's of marketing are price and product and where you place it and how you promote it, right? So price is only one piece. If you refer back to this earlier part of the episode when we talked about a positioning map, you will find where your price based on your quality lives. Again, are you Planet Fitness? Maybe you're Lifetime Athletic. Then you price it according to those models. To take it a couple steps deeper, and again, I did a whole episode on this, we can talk about whether you want to do price per class or per month or a membership, but think about what your overall goal is again. Where's your budget? Where's your goal for the year? What do you want to make out of this? Those all factor into price. And I had someone ask me the other day, is $50 for 4 classes in my gym a good price? I said, I don't know. Who are you teaching? What do you want to make out of it? What are your costs? So a lot of variables do go into it, of course. And if you want more help, I'm happy to help. Just have them DM me or listen to my pricing episode.
We definitely, like you said, we'll get your information in our show notes at www.fitnessbusinesspodcast.com so they can reach out to you and continue either a conversation with you or they can email you questions. So, all right, moving forward, as an online service, the marketing must drive online sales.
Yes.
So what marketing drives sales?
Great question. And I have 2 questions for you and listeners. Is advertising marketing?
Yes.
Is marketing advertising?
Nope.
No. Advertising is part of the 4 Ps. It's the promotion part. But marketing is your strategy. Let me talk for 1 second about what we are doing that is not working. And what we are doing that is not working is information overload. We take in so much information that then we buffer with social media because we don't know where to start or how to start. And when we buffer with social media, we start to have imposter syndrome, and then it leads to inaction. I bet you multiple people just nodded their head and are saying, so what is the answer, Sunshine? Well, it used to be 7 touch points is all you needed to make a sale. It's now over 50 to 60 touch points. What does that mean? It means we're in this for the long term. Let's consistently show up in 2 ways. 1, with lead generation. It could be a template or a tool or a PDF that actually gets people results, not just hey, I'm going to give you a free download, right? We want them to actually get results. And for us, that could be a podcast episode, right? And then 2, you want to offer an invitation to go deeper with you, to work together. You want to do that not that often, maybe 1 out of 10 times. In between this lead generation that you're going to do consistently, weekly, whatever you decide, you want to be nurturing in between and helping and teaching your potential avatar, which is your potential client, which you've identified in your marketing strategy. Tell me about that person. To review, you need 50 to 60 touch points. That's reading your stories, giving them a download, they might be listening to your podcast. Then you're offering an invitation to go deeper. And in between that, you're nurturing the relationship. And all of that hangs on what your marketing strategy is, which is a long-term strategy, telling who you serve, how you serve them, and what results you get them.
Perfect. Well, I love that answer. And actually it really helped me to go right into my next question because, marketing, advertising, all equals retention. And I want to know, how do you enhance retention of your members when you have the virtual offering? I know that's huge. Like I said, we're 2 years into it, and a lot of people are like, hey, it started off strong and now it's not so good. So how do you keep the retention?
How do you keep them? How about the Snapchat model? Give them a reason to show up every single day. I actually think it's a great model, right? What is that reason? You could fill in that answer with multiple ways. But it's the relationship. We're humans. We're meant to be in relationships with each other. And so when I mentioned the Pop Sugar fitness model of having 5 coaches or however many, this is how we're going to cultivate that relationship. Multiple touch points, multiple instructors, multiple relationships, create that community of engagement. Give that person a reason to keep coming back. And then, of course, you can hire help. You can hire help in the Philippines for $4 an hour, and that's a good salary for them, right? And the virtual assistants that I've had over the years are very helpful with returning generic emails, or I might write all my content for a month and they upload it, but it's still me writing and communicating with my members. It still needs to be me until someone is ready to be working on their business instead of in it. And we're talking to instructors, so they are working in their business. So they need to be in it with the piece that nobody can do what they can do. But virtual assistants can answer their emails, most definitely.
Yes, I love the fact that you talk about virtual assistants. We had an episode a couple months ago that was all about VAs for gyms. I loved it. It was one of my favorite episodes because it was different, unique, eye-opening completely. It was awesome. So FBP family, I'll put that in the show notes about our episode. I can't remember off the top of my head what number it was. But hey, Sunshine, I have one last question for you. We're supposed to be done, but I saw this on your website and I loved it. So I'm going to ask you this question, and that is, we're talking all about virtual studios, and, fitness instructors are usually pretty confident getting up in front of their class, when they're live and in person. But I'm telling you from experience that when that little red light on the record button goes off, it just messes sometimes with your mind. So I saw that you have a class that you teach confidence in front of the camera. I'd love for you just to talk a little bit, just take maybe 30 seconds and talk about that course, because I think it's important.
I will give you some really quick tips for you. One, look at the back of your camera. You can't see yourself. But what you can do is put a mirror behind it to make sure you're not jumping in and out of the lane, right? You have eliminated looking at yourself, and you've eliminated worrying getting out of it. But here's one that I love teaching people. Are you able to stand up where you're at, Dori?
Yes, I can stand.
Perfect. Okay, stand up for me.
All right, everybody, I'm standing up. Hold on.
Now, this is the psychologist in me coming out.
All right, I'm up.
Okay, perfect. I like your tank top, by the way.
Thanks. Les Mills.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah. Okay. Take your arms to the corners for me. Perfect. Now put your hands in fists.
Got
Perfect.
it.
Now, squeeze your butt, Dori.
Squeezing.
Good. Now press your feet into the ground.
Pressing.
Good. Now I want you to have a power phrase. Here's mine. I am strong. And I'm squeezing harder and harder. Dori, what is your power phrase?
Okay, my power phrase is I am confident.
Okay, we're going to say ours together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I
am strong. Show me. Prove it. Let me see your biceps. Yes. Yes. This is your power pose. You can relax now.
All right.
This is your power pose, and there have been studies done that you will get a physical reaction in your body in a good way, chemicals releasing, that help you with your confidence. If you do this before you push play, I promise you, you will feel more confident.
Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to check the notes for a resource, a free resource guide to something that you need for your business. The links to connect with us, whether it's Instagram or our website, are there. And then lastly, remember that we teach courses to help you get your business going. Right now, we're pushing the course Confidence on Camera, because before you can even start your business, you need to be able to push play. So check out that course and all of our other courses, like how to successfully launch your studio, in the show notes. Please connect. We'll see you soon.